Welcome to Mystic Spilling the Tea.
I'm Ashwani, Southern Fried Psychics.
I'm Leslie Hall, the Purple Rose Psychic.
And I'm Nikel with Rising Digital.
And we are the Mystics
Spilling the tea.
Okay, so we're having a conversation about soul contracts. First off,
Slash
what
sacred.
is a soul contract? We should talk about that first.
Totally.
So, you want to
Take
go
it away.
me? Okay, soul contract.
Mm-hmm.
So before you embark on this life's journey on this planet, you look and they give you a guide of what your life is going to be like and what path they want you to choose or what things you need to work on. And you sign a contract and you come down through the whole birth canal.
No, I need more detail on
I
that.
know, right? Spit out.
How do we get out of there? Just kidding.
And you just start walking into this world.
Yep.
And you have a contract. And so that contract is things that you can do. However, we do have free will.
Yes.
Yes.
So we're talking about, can you sever that soul contract? What are the consequences of doing so? And more.
And more. Because the whole thing is that we have free will. And that's why she's like, we were talking about free will. Because I keep saying, wait, but we have free will. Because we do.
Only to a point.
See, but how much of a point? Because to my understanding, we do sign a soul contract.
Mm-hmm.
So we come down here and the contract is like, okay, I sign up for this really intense childhood. You used that as a good example the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And because you're supposed to expand, we don't know how we're going to expand. We just know it's expansion ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we come down here and it's an intense childhood. Then from that point, you're presented with like different options of things, right? And it's your choice and you go one way or the other. Here's where I don't understand, because there's the whole like, we can make the choice and change the trajectory, or whatever is for you won't pass you.
True.
So that's why I'm confused.
There's lots of confusions with that.
With what?
Did you like me like scratching
With-
my
she's like, with
eyelid?
that. With listen, a lot of people say different things. I just want to know.
I'm just gonna say, if you're on okay, let's just say your free will. I
Yeah.
think a lot of your free will has to do with more than your actions, as much as your free will has to do with you have a choice of, okay, let's just say you're going to be married to this person. Your choice is, how do you shape that? What is the shape of that? I kind of feel like when you are on a journey and you take a journey, it's already pre-planned, but how you respond and how you react to others and how that all intertwines is part of that contract. And that's part of your free will too, because there are people I don't like necessarily, and that's a surprise.
Why'd you look at me?
But whenever I don't like working with someone, or I don't like necessarily being in their presence,
Yeah.
okay, that's a choice that I make to step around that.
Mm-hmm.
But my trajectory is still,
Still the same. I see what you're
you
saying.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's not really about the journey itself. It's really about your destination of, as a human being and having free will, that, yeah, you get to make your choices and things like that. But it comes to the big picture of, are you growing? Are these challenges growing you? Are you choosing, heightened spirituality? Or are you going into organized religion that can actually stunt your thought process, because so much of it is about, judgment, or about you fitting in a box, or you about, oh, the Baptists have it right. No, the Catholics have it right. No, if you just put everything together, there's bits and pieces everywhere that has it right. And it's really about your own journey. So whatever your soul contract is. So when we were talking about this earlier, I want to amend a little bit what I said. I always said you could sever.
Because now it's recorded, Miss Lady.
No,
I'm just kidding.
Not at all. I was saying you could sever a soul contract, but it's not sever the word I want to use. It's alter.
Alter.
So meaning by you sign up in my example earlier, very traumatic childhood. I even went through domestic violence. That was specific for, and I do believe I knew that before I incarnated into this body, into this life.
Did you go
Because
through the
I
birth
needed,
canal?
yep, nope, through my mom's tummy.
Yep,
The
same.
C-section.
Same. Yep.
Is I needed resilience. I needed
Yes.
perseverance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I
get
needed to
that.
learn self-worth, which I didn't actually get that life lesson until I went through domestic violence.
I think you also needed to get self-love, and that's
Oh, God,
part of
yes.
So whenever I was looking at things and everything, I think sometimes your free will, sometimes it does get you in a contract sever position.
Mhm.
We'll say that. For instance, I just keep thinking of like drug addiction.
Self-sabotage.
Self-sabotage sometimes can sever that contract, but rest assured you're going to come back and do that contract
No.
again.
Okay.
Now, that's what I've always heard is that
Yeah.
if you don't fulfill it, you have to repeat it.
It's
Like
full of
repeating
lessons.
a grade.
Yeah, so it's kind of like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, I took a left turn. Man, I should have stayed on the road. And so I think that that's part of it, It's like you just have to like know that
You're awesome.
if you have to do that, you have to come back to that road again. And I don't know that there's things that like I truly believe your guides and your angels and the universe all are part of this contract, and they're helping you to stay on it.
Yeah.
I think it takes a lot of effort to jump off of it. Does that make sense? I really think it takes more effort than what you think
Yeah.
to stay off of it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well, I think it takes a lot of effort just to be a human being. It's
Well,
much easier to be a starseed,
takes a lot of effort to do a lot of things
Yeah.
around here.
Yeah.
especially in this day and age.
Yeah, but I mean, so I think that your soul contract is something that you have predetermined before you come here. And
Agreed.
I feel like the choices that you have on the road is your journey, and your destination is going to be the
Driven.
same. And but your journey is trying to drive you there. If you make a far left turn and you stay on that extra road that's not part of your journey, I feel like that's where you really have some really, really dark times in your life and things like
Yeah.
that. I mean, there are things that you are going to, like your abuse as a child, that was something that she agreed to do and came in to do. That probably was a dark period for her, but she didn't stay in that dark.
I did
See?
for a while. I had to really do the healing from that.
Right.
Because as a kid, that's where abandonment started from,
Well, yeah.
is being left alone and being left with people who were very abusive,
Yeah.
So for me, agree with that in a lot of senses, but it probably took me 40 years to be able to truly move through abandonment issues.
Yeah.
And part of that is, like I said, it all comes back to self-love, because I
Yeah.
truly feel like as human beings, that's one of the things that is really important for us to nurture and grow in people is self-love, because
Yeah.
I feel like the self-love is the thing that keeps people on the path that they've been given to do in their
Yeah.
contract.
Agreed.
And so, and you think about it because, self-love is really hard to teach,
Yeah.
and it's really hard for some people to grow. But again, back to your contracts, because I don't want to get too far off the
Yeah.
path.
Get over here,
Too
lady.
far off the path. But I really, truly believe that, to change your contract, you have free will in parts of your contract, but
Okay.
not your destination. Maybe parts of your journey,
Yes.
how you get there,
Okay.
Yes.
but not necessarily the destination. The other thing I have with that is when you have a contract, you also have a contract to affect the people around you.
Yes.
Mhm.
And so in doing that, I feel like that's part of those free will choices, I think, are limited
Yeah.
because the people around you need, that interaction. So like if I wasn't here, you wouldn't have met Dina maybe.
Yeah.
So then this wouldn't have happened.
If you wouldn't have come to my shamanic journey circle, my guides wouldn't
Yeah.
have kept pushing me on the shoulder.
I mean, like I had a choice to go to that.
Yeah.
and I went to a shamanic journey.
And
If
I went
hadn't
to the
gone-
Wellness Expo in
And-
Grapevine.
and then you
Mhm.
stopped and talked to me.
Yeah, I did.
Mhm.
So, see, like that's kind of where I'm
Mhm.
talking about is like there is free will, but I also feel like your guides and angels really prod you to connect with the people you need to connect with.
Oh, totally.
Definitely.
They prod you to expand and grow, but they do give you some free choice of some things. But again, I think not doing this with Dina would have been harder than doing it with Dina or you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like if I'd said, no, I think it would have been harder for me to sit back and not participate than
Yeah.
participate.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
that's-
for me, you were like the anchor that was missing for me because quintessential Pisces, my head's always up in the ethers. Now I've mastered a little bit. I wouldn't say mastered. I still got more work to do. Is 1 foot in reality, 1 foot in non-reality. But so many times, like it's hard for me to have a conception of time, or not conception, realization of time. And so you're so great about that, but you knew that. So like when we first aligned and started working together, you were so great about guiding me on to move on to the next person or the next phase or whatever, which was so awesome because that's where your fire really complements my water. And I'm a shadow of a doubt. I am confident. My guides knew all this. They knew the big picture and they knew you were that missing piece to the puzzle of everything that I knew I wanted to accomplish or I knew I wanted to do, because everything I do, I feel like I shine better when I'm working in collaboration with sisterhood.
Yeah. And I feel like, so like your guides, I feel like they pushed us together.
Yeah.
Okay. And I had free will. I
Yeah.
didn't have to go to the
You could have
class.
told me no.
I could have told her no, but it wasn't like my guides, it was kind of like, it just feels like it. So part of, part of all of our journeys and everything are the people that we meet.
Mm-hmm.
And their contracts are also part
Mhm.
of us and everything. And so it really is an interesting thing when you kind of look at it, how the synchronicities and the coincidences, or
Oh yeah. No accidents.
For
it-
sure.
they're not accidents.
Mm-mm.
It's really funny because you start looking at things and there is no accident. One of the things I like best about the metaphysical world, and just so you know, I believe this, and whether y'all do or not, you can disagree.
All right. What do you got?
But what I believe about the metaphysical world is there are no hard lines. There are no,
Agreed.
this is what it is. Because, plenty of people can say, oh, no, you can cancel your contract. I can say, no, you can't cancel your contract. Because in the metaphysical world, everything I feel like is you create your own dictionary.
Right.
You create your own
Yeah.
meanings. You create your own interpretations of things. There is no one-in-one handbook from the universe that says, by the way, this is what they're telling you and this is what it means. So it's all an interpretation. And that's the reason why I think the metaphysical world is so unique, because unlike Christian religion, they're looking to the book,
One
the Bible.
dimensional.
One dimensional. There's not anything. And we all know that the Bible was written by men.
Interpreted from Latin.
And so,
Also left out a lot of missing
lot of
pieces
missing pieces.
about the divine feminine.
so that's the reason why I'm saying, like, you have to interpret a lot of things yourself, and your dictionary becomes what it is to you. Again, it's all in your beliefs. And I think the belief system and the trust system is what gives it power.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you believe you can cancel your sacred contract, I just think you might get hit by a bus, but okay.
Yeah, and a better word for me is
I don't think so.
I think you have free will to alter.
Alter.
Definitely not
And maybe
sever.
that's like the best way to say it. Is
Yeah.
I don't think
You like go down a different road, but you still end up the same place, is what you're saying.
Spirit's going to guide you
You're gonna
where you
guide
need
you.
to go.
Yeah.
But you can make alterations. I mean, like, prime example of, I grew up Southern Baptist, but since I was probably little bitty, I mean, I remember being 5 years old. We were in Sunday school, and the teacher was looking at me kind of stern because I was saying, this book is about love and acceptance, and there's a ton of references against judgment. Why are you teaching so much judgment? Why are you teaching, I don't think I said it, but hellfire and brimstone?
Yeah.
And she looked at me and I could just see the daggers in her eyes. And there was probably only about maybe 10 kids in Sunday school. It wasn't a lot of us because we were a smaller church. And she said, go sit with your mother. You are banned from Sunday school. And
Good.
I had to sit with my mom from there on out because
awful.
I was saying that
You
book, that's not
questioned.
the right book.
Yeah,
and I
don't
kept saying,
question. Don't
that's not the
question.
right book. That's not the right
Yeah,
book.
you questioned it.
I did.
Mhm.
So,
Which I think we should all do that. We should all question
Yeah.
because your truth is your truth. No one should impact that to tell you what your truth is.
Right.
And a direct connection to God is from you. You're the direct connection to source. They, he, them, whatever you want to identify God as under your faith. I would never try to change somebody's faith, but I would challenge you to expand and know your truth because you have a direct connection to source.
Yeah.
see, that's what I'm saying is like everyone has their own ability to interpret everything.
Yep.
And so, like, because whenever you say change a sacred contract or cancel it, to me, it's life changing because you're going to have to come back and do this again.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is a contract I signed to fulfill this lifetime. And so if I decided to not do that, I'm not really sure what it looks like because I do have a question on that.
Okay.
So what if I decided not to fulfill this contract? What happens with this soul and my body in this life? I mean, it's kind of one of those things where, because I truly believe no matter what your contract was, you're going to end up in that destination.
Mm-hmm.
So if you didn't follow the path and you chose the harder path, you're still going to end up in that destination. So it's kind of like your time of when you're going to pass.
Mm-hmm.
And
I-
the destination could also suck, right? I mean, that's the
Oh,
thing.
totally.
Like the destination could be you end up dying in a car accident, and I don't, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, your
because at first I was like, oh, that's really optimistic. But then I was like, wait, we don't know what the end is.
Well,
we
and
don't
really,
know what the end is.
right. And really, they're in control
the day.
anyway. I mean, I've got 5 examples where I've had 4 near drownings when I was 2, 12, I think it was 15 or 16, and 22, almost every 10 years.
Golly.
But I was drowned as a witch in a past life. Okay. So I feel like I was, at least that's my recent understanding, is I was burning off that karma. And I will just be really authentic right now is I tried to commit suicide when I was 22 years old. I overdosed on about 135 pills. I knew exactly what I was doing. I did leave a short note. I didn't tell a soul, not even my roommate, which was my best friend. And we're still close. And I remember it was 17 and a half hours later when I woke up. And the moment I opened my eyes, I was still so out of it. I said, oh my gosh, I made a mistake. And you saved me. So since you saved me, I will promise to always work on myself. And I choose to work with other people.
So let me ask
I
you
love
this,
that. That's
'cause
beautiful.
I have a thought. Just a thought.
Mm.
So do you think it was you trying to cancel your soul contracts all those times, even the almost drownings? But they were like, no, 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 no. You still have to finish this. No, 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 no. You still have to finish this.
No, I see. No, because I feel the drownings were the karma from the past life because the energy is totally different for me. Versus when I tried to take my own life, I was trying to sever that soul contract because of so much pain of coming out to my family and being alienated and disowned. I felt like I had no one and nothing. I felt completely alone. So, which fueled my childhood abandonment issues from child abuse.
But they
So-
didn't let you sever
Exactly.
that contract.
So that's what I'm
the reason
saying.
why I say
You can alter, you can shift, you can make a little change here and there. But when it comes down to trying to sever it, I
It's
agree
not-
with
yeah.
you in that you can't because they're the ones that have got control of you. Because I remember the worst thing ever was my mom being told by the nurse, well, we don't know if we can save her, but we'll give her an antidote because she took a lot of stuff. And I had stuff, leftover meds. I cleaned out my medicine cabinet. But there's never that look that I never want to see again was on my mom's face when that nurse said that to her. And that woke me up like that.
Mhm.
I was like, oh, because I was in and out of it, so groggy, but still so clear. And I don't remember, I'm not one of those people that had like the near death experiences where I'm all
Mhm.
white light, all that stuff. I just remember being in total darkness. But
Mhm.
I do remember talking to people. I don't know who I was talking to because that part is really still dark. And I do remember being told, no, 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 no. You've got a purpose and you will not go yet.
So see,
Wow.
sometimes I think there are things like that that happen that make you realize you can't sever that or you can't change it necessarily. There's still a destination. Those experiences were for her to have
Mm-hmm.
that journey so that at her destination she could actually be the person she needs to be
Mhm.
to help
Mhm.
other people.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know that same
Mhm.
pain.
Oh, yeah. I
You
know
know?
such despair, such pain that it's really heavy sometimes. And
Yeah.
I recognize it in other people.
Right.
So
Right.
something y'all do not know about me.
I
is
love
when,
it.
When I was younger, and I was outside in the front yard. My dad was out there talking to someone across the street, and my brother was out there, and we had been playing chase and everything. And my brother was the one who would be like, "Hey, there's a spider on you," to make me stop, and then he would win. Right? He was 2 years older than me. Okay, so and we weren't very old at this time. I was probably 4 or 5, maybe 6. At any rate, I ran out in the street, and my brother said, "There's a car coming." I did not believe him because
Oh,
I had
no.
fallen for this spider thing,
No.
and so I got hit by the car.
Oh,
And
my
Whoa.
God.
I am telling you, it knocked me from the middle of the street. It knocked me 20 feet into the yard.
Oh, my God.
Whoa.
And the only thing wrong with me was I had a scratch.
Oh,
That
my
is
goodness.
it. That is it.
Wow.
They still took
Whoa.
me to the hospital.
Yeah.
My mom checked me out. She had me on the living room floor checking me out before they took me to the hospital. They took me to the hospital. I had one little bitty scratch, and they were like,
Whoa.
You were totally protected.
I was totally protected. But
Mhm.
literally, my mother would tell you, she
So-
goes, "You went from the middle of the street all the way into the middle of the yard."
Your dragon saved you. I just saw the
I
vision.
love that.
And it
Swooped
was like,
right in and
yeah.
picked you up.
So, I mean, so you start looking at things where obviously we do things that are sometimes a little dangerous, and sometimes, you know, they have to swoop in and take care of us. But
Mm-hmm.
that's the reason why I truly believe that, like, there is a mission for everyone, there
Mhm.
is an assignment for everyone, and everyone, they do their best to make sure that you fulfill it
Oh, yeah.
because they need it done.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I agree with that.
I was gonna ask something. So would you say, like, in that instance when you got saved, the reason why you would get protected in that instance and not another kid that's like same age, same situation, because maybe they're
Their contract,
contract was
might have been shorter.
shorter?
Mhm.
Okay.
Or
Just
their parents' contract may have had you lose a
that
child.
you lose a child. Oh, sad. Yeah.
And they did the contract together.
Right.
You know, I don't really know the ins and outs again. I feel like the metaphysical world and all of the things, you don't have all the answers here.
No,
They don't want
we
you to
never
have all
will.
the answers.
No, we won't.
I don't know how it happened.
Yeah.
Literally have no idea. I mean, because you think about it, being thrown that far,
Mm-hmm.
being hit that hard by a car,
Mm-hmm.
and, you know,
Little kid.
Well, and I will say I've had something like that too, because back in the day when I was in my addiction, when I was like 21, I think. No, I was 19. I wasn't even of age yet. Okay, so I was 19, driving really fast and dumb, drinking and driving. It was raining, and I had gone to a funeral that day. Actually, it was Chaz's funeral that I went to that day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so I was very all over the place, and I was going to some like get together to celebrate him. And yeah, so I was all over the place, and I spun out, and it was raining, and I turned completely around, and I was facing oncoming traffic. And I kid you not, it was like as if somebody had put their arm right here and had all of the cars. They were all right in a row. And I was like, that doesn't happen,
Mm-hmm.
but of course it gave me enough time to like get it together, turn the car around and leave. But I was like, what?
Yeah. So that's the reason why I say there's a lot of intervention
Oh,
Yeah.
to
yeah.
keep you on this path.
Yeah.
There's not, I mean,
Yeah.
that's the reason why to really take the contract. And that's the reason why I think that it's really hard to alter it or even to sever it all because the, there's a whole lot of people counting on you as the person to fulfill your life and fulfill what you have to do here. And so that's the reason why I feel like it's really the contracts we make involve other people,
Mm-hmm.
just like in the situation you were talking about with the child and parents. I just feel like there's contracts that are really designed for special reasons and special things. And, you know, it brings back to a lot of things that think of how, like, for lack of a better one right now, Amber Hagerman. If you don't know her, she was a girl who
I
was
do know her.
kidnapped off of her bike, but it started the Amber Alert. Her mother got the Amber Alert because if they had been able to do the Amber Alert, they might have been able to save this little girl.
Yeah.
And so that's something that you kind of look at that, and that was for other people. That action created safety for other children.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so that might have been something that was something she chose to do and not even know it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I didn't know her living. She's come to me at least 3 times in my dreams.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's hard, but because I have such a profound love for children and their purpose and their light, and because they don't have the filters we all do, that one was hard.
Yeah.
yeah, that was a tragic story. It
Yeah.
was, but again, it changed something so that maybe other children,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't know if we have more child abductions now than we've ever had, or if it's because the
quite a few.
news is so much out there.
Right.
You know, because when I was a kid, I can tell you, we played outside.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
The only rule was be home before the street lights went down.
Right.
That was our rule.
know, man.
Yeah.
And don't go into someone's house you don't know.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
No
Those were the
stranger
rules.
danger.
Yeah,
and-
those were the rules. And so we'd come home when we were hungry for lunch.
Yep.
In the summertime, we'd be out.
Mm-hmm.
And when the street lights came on, you better be in that house.
And that
Yeah.
was so cool. You got to go like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Go
And
to the park, whatever.
Yeah, the 10 o'clock news
Neighborhood.
would say, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are?
Oh, yeah, that's
And
right.
so it
Wow.
wasn't until, I have to say, my mother, when we were older, then I started telling her about us getting in the storm drain.
Oh, gosh.
No.
We would get in the storm drain to cut over 3 streets instead of walking
Oh
the
my
4 or 5
God.
blocks.
God.
So we would go through the
No.
storm drains. We would get, you know, that has that little thing between the curb and everything. It must have been bigger back then because I
They
can't
were.
imagine.
I
that
don't
was
know,
squeezed in
man.
it.
No, they were pretty big. We used to play in the
So
storm
you could
drains.
squeeze it.
Crazy.
You could get
Yeah.
in there pretty easily. I'm telling you, it's not a big
like
deal.
Ninja Turtles over there.
And then you would just go underneath it because each of those drains was a light, and so you could see. And we would go underneath there to go 3 streets over.
I bet that was cool though.
It was for
as
the
a kid.
flooding was why those storm drains were bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you're in a floodplain, things
Yeah.
like that. But when you're a kid, you know, it's like
It
you're going
was-
through
yeah.
a portal or a magic kingdom.
For sure.
But my mother, like she would have just like worn us out if she had known we did that when we were
Mhm.
younger because of flood problems.
Yeah.
You know, you never know when it's going to rain and you get
Sure.
stuck in there. And
Kids have been
yeah.
drowned that way.
Yeah. So that's the reason why, back to the soul contracts, that's the reason why I feel the soul contracts are kind of something that's kind of locked because I feel like it affects so much more than you.
yeah.
Oh, it totally does. But it's still also all about you.
It is all about you. And I think the choices on the journey are the free will,
Mhm.
but at the destination is where you will end.
Yeah.
So that's where I kind of get a little wonky. But again, like I said, metaphysically, I think there's so much unknown
Great.
and so much you interpret and you take for you
Yeah.
so that you have your own power with it.
Right. Yeah, which I love that. That has solved so many questions for me, just that alone.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only circumstances I think that, because I do want to mention it, because my attempt is when the soul contract is voluntarily severed, is when people take their own life or they unalive themselves.
See, I don't think that.
I do. Yeah.
I don't, because I think that people accidentally unlive themselves.
I do agree about that. Yeah.
With drug overdoses or whatever. And I feel like that is I still think that's part of their contract. I still think that that journey was part of their contract. When someone unlives themselves, I feel like that also is part of that contract. Like they have fulfilled it to that point. Plus the fact there's so much, it reverberates. That reverberates through the family and through the community to where it makes a change.
Yeah.
And I think so that vibration that they have created is meant to happen in that way of some kind. Because I truly believe, in like your case, it didn't happen
Right.
because it wasn't supposed to happen then.
Oh, I'm clear about that.
And so that's the reason why I feel like it is still the destiny was that spot in time for you, because I do think we all have an expiration date. I don't know what it is.
So then would we know then, like, ahead of time, maybe we had a sacred, or our soul contract was, we're going to decide not to do our purpose, and so we're going to have to come back. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like there's so many layers to this. And then, too, the dimensions thing, because if there's us in parallel dimensions, what's the story there? What if someone does something, and then how does it, you know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like you can just, like, really
There's a lot you
split
can get
hairs.
into.
Yeah.
You
and,
could.
and that's
Yeah.
the reason why I feel
That's why
like
it's hard for me to wrap my head around it.
how you interpret it.
Yeah, which is pretty much what I've been rolling with.
Yeah.
Yeah, because how you interpret it makes it, and everyone's story is different.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, for
everyone's
sure.
path is different. But again, it's their story, it's their path, it's their destiny. And so it really makes it to where it's that point in time.
Yeah, because you don't want to just literally buy into somebody else's belief,
Yeah.
where it's their regurgitated words that you're living on and
Yes.
and believing in that, because you want to question anything and everything that comes in your path, because that's you finding your own truth. That's you walking your own path. That's why we have DNA and fingerprints. We're all meant to be different. That's the part of being a human being. We've just got so busy with doing and greed and power and an imbalance of what it's like to be divine feminine and sacred masculine. So that's I think a lot of soul contracts for humanity in itself is, can we reset?
I also think a lot of things are not black and white.
Agreed.
Right.
And so,
which is
and,
lot of
and
gray.
so when
I
someone
love that
tells me
it's
something,
that
I'm
way.
like, well, how do you know that? Well, I read it. Well, okay, I could write something that's totally opposite of that.
I
Does that
know.
make it true or any different?
I know.
You got to decipher.
And that's the reason why I said it's not necessarily what one person
Yeah.
believes is the right as much as it is what it is you believe for yourself is right. I've always believed what I believe for myself is right. It doesn't mean what my beliefs are right for you.
Right.
It doesn't,
Totally.
you know, if I believe that, brushing my teeth with baking soda is the best thing in the whole wide world, it doesn't mean that it is the best thing in the whole wide world. It just
Right.
means I believe it for myself.
Yes.
And
Yep.
that's just a weird example. I don't brush my teeth with baking
Well,
soda.
I have
know
some
that.
questions.
But
I have done that before, and it does not taste that
it
great.
was just
so
a random
I
thing to
digress.
throw out there.
Yeah.
Okay, just random. But it just goes to show you that your beliefs are what work for you. And so that's what I feel like is what other people like to challenge.
Yes.
And so it's more of how you want to defend what you believe in and how you want to stand with what you have chosen.
And that's
Yeah.
what I wish I would see shift in people in humanity is people stop challenging your beliefs
Yes.
and just know their own truth. Like not, judge you because you believe a certain way, or you because, you grew up different, or you don't choose religion and you chose spirituality. I mean, don't judge, because you're not going to have a world full of Southern Baptists.
Mhm.
You're not going to have a world full of just Catholic. You're going to have this conglomeration of pockets of the people that have the same or similar beliefs. And then you've got a whole worldwide of like 7.4 billion, however many people there are now, with all different beliefs, that there's bits and pieces and truths to all that in there.
Mm-hmm.
You have to use discernment and figure out what is your truth,
I
What works
agree.
for you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
which is a huge part, I think, to go with soul contracts.
Yeah. I just don't want to have I don't want to defend. You know what I
No,
mean?
you shouldn't
Like I just
have
want to
to.
share. I just want to
Yeah.
share. Like, where are you at with it? Well, this is how. But I
But
know, like,
Like
that's
this
not.
conversation.
But
Yeah,
you're
like
gonna
this
have-
conversation. Exactly.
You're going to have people who challenge it, so it's all in your belief. And again, I had a conversation this morning with someone about some of his beliefs versus my beliefs. And here's the bottom line I have for this.
I love it. Share it.
I said, well, one's perception is one's reality.
Hey.
It doesn't mean that it's
Mm.
true
Yep.
for me or true for you. It just means that what you perceive is what you believe is reality.
True.
It doesn't matter whether I believe it or not. It doesn't matter if I perceive it or not.
Yeah.
My perceptions are my reality.
Mhm.
So there
I
you
hope
go.
people start to question if they're trying to push or convince someone else their own truths or their own beliefs, like shoving their beliefs on other people. I hope people really stop for a minute, take a breath, take a beat, go within and figure out, why are you trying to push your beliefs onto another
Yeah.
person?
What's the
Mhm.
motive?
What,
What's your
exactly.
motive?
What is
Yeah.
that?
Mhm.
Question that, because there's probably a lesson in there for you to get, and you're trying to push that off on somebody else when
Mhm.
their journey's different than yours. Their beliefs are different than yours. Their life is different than yours. Why are you trying to shove somebody in a box? Like,
Mhm.
you know, if you're a natural brunette and you've been told you'd look better as a blonde, what are you going to do? Are you going to dye your hair blonde, or are you going to own you're a brunette? Or are you going to go red and fight the, you know,
Move it
whatever?
on. Yeah.
Move it all the way.
Different.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to tell y'all we have to wrap it up. I know, darn. I know, I get it. I'm the wrapper-upper.
You're the
So-
timekeeper.
Timekeeper.
And today's topic was courtesy of Nikel's brilliant mind.
Well,
Yes,
hello.
it was.
Thank
So, any last remarks? We'll start with you, Nikel.
I think, no, I love the way we wrapped it up. I think that, yes, it's your perception, which makes it more empowering, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So, on to you.
Good.
You, ma'am, go ahead.
I would say when it comes to soul contracts or anything else in life, truly take the information, go within and determine your own truth, whatever that may be, without judgment, and just allow yourself to feel into it.
Mhm.
And what I want to depart you with is love yourself, because loving yourself gives you the power to make the choices for you and to find your own journey.
That's
There we
beautiful.
go.
I like it.
So let's wrap it up. This is
Mystics
Spilling the Tea.
I'm Ashwani, Southern Fried Psychics.
I'm Leslie Hall, the Purple Rose Psychic.
And I'm Nikel with Rising Digital.
And we are
Mystics
Mystics
spilling
Spilling
the
the
tea.
Tea.
See ya.